Hey, so here I am for chapter 9. Remember, in chapter 8, I've only just read it, so I know exactly what's just happened. So she's gone to the conservatory, she's battled with all these strange plants, spikes flying at her. My word, she must have felt really nervous. But anyway, she's come out the other end, and now she's got the book that hopefully will solve the problem of the hiccuping house. But is it that easy? Is it ever this easy? Chapter 9. 9 stomped her way back to the kitchen. Ooh, if she's stomping, how do you think she's feeling? She wants everyone in that house to know, with her feet, the emotion she's feeling. What do you think? When you stomp around your house, how are you feeling? Eric was positioning another bucket underneath the orange gloop, slowly dripping from the ceiling. Flabbergast and Spoon looked up as she reached into her satchel and slammed the book on the kitchen table. The sugar bowl wisely hopped backwards. The conservatory nibbles a bit, does it? Snapped 9. She slammed both of her hands down upon the cover, leaning forwards on the table and glared at them. I nearly got stabbed by a cactus. Ah, most unfortunate. I must be molting season. And that starflower in there nearly ate me. It wouldn't have actually swallowed you, madam. Eric feeds it all the leftover pancakes. He lowered his voice. Thank goodness someone likes them. He cleared his throat. The starflower was only being, I think, playful. Playful? Every room in this house wants to kill me. Oh, nonsense, madam, scoffed Flabbergast. The laundry is perfectly harmless. He glanced warily at 9, slowly sliding magical houses and how to tame them from underneath her palms. He licked his finger and started to flick through the pages. Plant this is Eric. Plant naughty, said Eric, looking at 9 with his big yellow eyes. Snatch pancakes. He moved towards her hesitantly, stretching out his huge hand as if to pat her head. Lady fine? Of course Lady's fine, said 9, dodging his hand. Lady's always fine. Eric smiled a little sad smile and dropped his arm to his side. He placed a little stripy boiled sweet on the table and edged it towards 9 with a long fingernail. Oh, I love Eric. I love how he just tries to solve everything with a sweet, doesn't he? 9 pushed away the uncomfortable feeling of guilt and blamed the plants for putting her in such a bad mood and hurting his feelings. She picked up the sweet and gave Eric a small smile. Hiccups, hiccups, said Flabbergast, flicking through the book, his eyes darting from page to page. Ah, come on, lad, snapped Spoon. Flabbergast slammed his finger on the page. Aha! Chapter 12! When your house has hiccups! He turned to the page and skimmed the text. Causes, symptoms, how not to lose your chimney. Ah! Curing! He looked up wide-eyed. Oh, my stars! Left uncured, house hiccups can last for absolutely years. Years, said 9. I'm not putting up with this for... Whoomp! Stomach twist, brain jump. Everyone was pulled face first into the floor, drawn by some invisible force. They picked themselves up again. Years, finished 9. Flabbergast returned to the book. Fear not, he crowed. Apparently, we just need to give it a drink. Eric, pour water down the sink. Spoon, try the drain pipes. Madam, go to the bathroom. Behind the shelf door, turn on the taps as fast as you can, and if you can catch the toilet, give it a flush for good measure. 9 sighed. The toilet. Although most of the house had returned to normal, whatever that was, once they'd broken the curse, they still could never find the toilet when they needed it. So, it's not stuck upside down above your bed anymore, 9 said warily. 6th floor. Sorry, this is Spoon. 6th floor. Sixth floor. Still mastering the Scottish accent, said Spoon as he dashed off and, watch out, lass, it started burping. Smell bad, Eric whispered. 9 tutted. Oh, for goodness sake. Whoop! 9 rubbed her head. If her brain jumped any more, surely it would leave her head permanently. Flabbergast peered into the cupboard, then hastily retreated, slammed the door and rested his back against it. His eyes were wide with alarm. Eric began to wring his tail with worry. Suddenly, a stifling wave of heat swept through the kitchen, taking Nine's breath away. Was that the sound of flames crackling somewhere? "Ah, swift as you can, madam," squeaked Flabbergast. "The sky appears to be on fire." "Oh, of course it is," snapped Nine, as she hurtled down the hallway towards the portrait-lined staircase. She could not live like this for years. Why had she ever stepped foot into this house? She dashed up the stairs, 2 at a time, grabbing the banister handrail for support. It became hotter and hotter and even hotter under her fingers. She looked down and saw faint wisps of smoke drifting up from the banister. Heat was closing in on her everywhere. She glanced up dizzily at the witchy portrait she stood beside. Millicent the Goat Eater, 1410 to 1672. The painting began to melt. The colours were blurring, slipping out of shape until just Millicent's eyes remained, wide in horror, in the middle of the painting. Nine swallowed. She swallowed hard and wiped the sweat from her forehead. She pushed on until she reached the landing, scanning for a shell door. There, up a ladder, a blue door with a circle of cockle shells on it, which were rearranging themselves in different patterns every couple of seconds. She staggered to the ladder and began to climb. Wisps of smoke curled up and out of the rungs. The hot metal handle stung her hand as she opened the door. A huge circular bath filled the room. Tufts of brown fur were scattered everywhere, and big muddy footprints decorated the floor, the walls, and, rather curiously, the ceiling. Nine scrambled into the bath. Her dry throat was longing for the sound, the feel, the taste of glorious water. It wasn't just the house that needed a drink. She reached for the brass taps, struggling, twisting. Oh, good grief! It must have been Eric's strong hands that had closed them last. Finally, water, glorious water, cascaded down. Nine flopped underneath it for a moment, mouth open to snatch the precious liquid. Then she reached for another tap and twisted it as far as she could. Anything to stop those awful hiccups. Nine sank her hands down underneath the taps, letting the cool water run over her fingers as it fell to the plug hole. Just give it a moment, she told herself. Had it worked? Were they gone? Yes. It looked like the hiccups had finally... Whoom! Stomach twist, brain jump. Heat gone, though, and a powerful, irresistible force pulled on her fingers. No time to think, to move, to scream, because she was being pulled arm first down the plug hole. Dun dun dun! So where is Nine going to end up now? Is she going to go down the plug hole and end up in another part of the house? Is she going to go down the plug hole? Because our plug holes, when you let the water out of your drain, where does the water go from your house? Do you know? Ask your parents. And then think about if it goes out somewhere and goes to somewhere. So what does that mean for Nine? Is she now going to leave the house? Is she going to go to another universe? Because they're travelling through different places, aren't they? Is she going to end up in the fiery one? Or have they left that quick enough and she's now going to end up in the new one? And what if the house continues to travel? Make a prediction. And I'll join you here next time for Chapter 10.